So you want to be a rock superstar and live large, big house, 5 cars, you're in charge.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying your Saturday evening. I decided to go ahead and shoot a little impromptu video today because there's one question that I get asked all the time, and I was hoping that this might clear it up a little bit, and that is, what is a social signal? Social signals are something I've been selling for quite a long time, and they've helped me in my business, and they help boost your website, but there really is a lot of confusion out there, and there's a few different things that they could be considered, but I'm going to go walk you through what most people mean when they say a social signal. I'm going to show you what most people think a social signal is and are wrong about, and that's about it. We'll just kind of cover the topic in general. I wrote a blog post about this a while back, but I think this might help illustrate it for some people that are confused. So we're going to start here on Twitter. And this is the one I created for another case, the Twitter account I created for another case study I'm doing, but you can find out more about that later. But so just for example, if I wanted to post about my Facebook, I would come over here and stick this in, and we would tweet it. Now let's add a little something to it. Come follow me on Facebook. Bam. So we've made a Facebook post, or I mean a Twitter post about our Facebook page, or that could be any link at all. But most people think that this, what I just did, is a social signal, and most people are wrong. What I just did there was post to a social profile or a social platform, but that's not a signal. Anyone can do that, and it's free. So why would Google or any other search algorithm reward that with any value? Because anyone can do it. Now, that's not to say this doesn't have value. If something big happens and millions of people post about it, then it could be viewed as a social signal. But on the day-to-day level, this is not going to help you as far as SEO. It can help, obviously, if you have an audience and they click on it and they go to your site or do whatever your call to action is, then obviously then it has value, but this has very little SEO value. And then let's just, to be thorough, let's do it in reverse. If I was over here on LinkedIn, let's see. We'll grab this article here. I can post something to LinkedIn. Whatever it said. Oh, Snipply grabbed it. We'll cover that later in a different video. We're going to post that. Again, not a social signal. And then just to really drive home the point, because I'm sure you don't have it by now, I'm being sarcastic. It's really obvious, but let's just be as thorough as possible. This cat thing here. We're going to take that and post it to Facebook. And again, what I'm doing here, not a social signal. It's a social post. Fuck. I just said a bad word. Live video. Publish. Okay. So now we've made social posts on the top 3 networks, or at least my 3 favorite networks. But what we have yet to do is create a social signal. So if we want to create a social signal, let's open another Twitter account. And then we're going to do this off camera because I don't want you seeing my Twitter account and posting weird stuff, because I know that's how a lot of you are. Just kidding. I love you all in a completely appropriate way. So, what we're going to do is we're going to get a link to this tweet. And we're here over on my main Twitter. It's a pretty big following. I should pay more attention to that. I'm going to paste the link to that tweet. And now, if I want to reply to it, that's not a social signal. But if I retweet it, and you don't have to add something to it, but just for illustration purposes, check this out. Tweet. That is a social signal. Retweeting something, liking something. If we want to go over to Facebook, I'm not going to be able to really illustrate this, but because I don't have that many Facebook and LinkedIn accounts. But if somebody else were to come in, if Jeff Wiener here were to come in and share this, that's a social signal. If you were to like it, which why shouldn't he? I posted it and I'm awesome. That would be a social signal. If you were to come over to Facebook and let's share that. I'm going to pause for a second while I find the page I want to share it to. You will know why I shared this in just a little while. We're going to share that right to our group. Post. That share is a social signal. Like. In fact, let's heart it because, you know, why wouldn't we? That like or love or whatever you want to call it is a social signal. So what I'm getting at is it's not posting to a social profile that makes a social signal. It's getting interaction. That's the social signal. Another way you can go about that hold on, we'll pause. Another way you can go about it is I'm here at my blog, superstarmarketingonline.com, home of the best internet marketing content on the internet. Thumbs up, cheap pop. And another way to create a social signal is to come over here to these social icons. And we're going to share that. We're going to pause one more time. And we're going to share that to our group, Superstar SEO, home of the best SEO group on Facebook. Another cheap pop. So we're going to go ahead and post that. That's a social signal. One thing you'll notice is that Twitter doesn't have the total, and that's not because no one's ever tweeted about my site, because as we all know, I like to promote my own things. But Twitter blocked access to their API a while back, and for some reason they won't let you see the totals, but you can still use it to create a social signal. I have that set up with Sniply. Again, we'll talk about that at a later date. And tweet. And then see how it doesn't update the total like Facebook did. And then I think we can even do Pinterest from here. And let's that one. Pin that to Myrtle Beach SEO. Close. So now we have it. And I guess Pinterest doesn't show the totals anymore either. And then there's some other options you can do. But, you know, you get the point. These are social signals. The interaction, the sharing. It's not to say posting to a social profile doesn't have value. It doesn't mean that that other things that people call social signals, like bookmarks, don't have a value. But that's what a social signal is. A share, a like, a retweet, and so on. That's why one of the things I get a lot is what anchor should I use on my social signals? And on very few platforms can you use any at all. I've come up with a way to do it in my gig, and if you're in Source University, you know how to take advantage of that. If you're in my group, you can just ask, and maybe we'll cover that. But for the most part, you can only post a naked URL and not an anchor text. I think LinkedIn in some cases allows an anchor text, but the rest, like Twitter and Facebook, don't, and that's also a big misconception. So there you have it. That's what a social signal is. So let's summarize real quick. A social signal is not a post to Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, etc. It is when somebody posts to Twitter, like Facebook, LinkedIn, and whatever, and then someone else likes it or retweets it or does something of that nature to share it or to show it interaction. And to explain why that's important, anyone can post to any social network for free, but getting people to share your content is where the value is, because Google sees, hey, a lot of people are talking about this. Maybe it's important, and we should look at it and see if it deserves a reward of higher search ranking. That's why social signals are valuable to SEO. That's where the value in buying social signals packages like I and others offer is. So that's about it. I just wanted to throw this up there. It was on my mind, and I wanted to test out something, and that's about it. Please subscribe to my channel and join my Facebook group, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.